Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hello everyone, welcome to Unacademy. I am Divyanshu Chaudhary and I have secured All India Rank 30 in Civil Services Examination 2020. This was my second attempt at Civil Services, and in this video I am going to talk about how to start UPSC Civil Services Examination preparation for beginners. This is a very important topic for almost all the aspirants because when everyone comes to start the preparation of UPSC, they are more or less not aware about how do they do it and what all resources do they study when they start off the studying of this preparation. So in this video, we'll talk about some strategies and tips and tricks for starting off the preparation so as to cover the syllabus in a very effective way and in the least possible time as well. So before I start off going for the topic, I would like to give a brief introduction about myself. As I have already mentioned, I have secured All India Rank 30 in Civil Services Examination 2020. Also, I have done my BTech in Electrical and Electronics from BITS Pilani, from where I graduated in 2015. So basically from 2011 to 2015, I was doing my BTech from BITS Pilani. After that, I enrolled for the MBA course at IIM Calcutta just right after graduation, and I finished my MBA in the year 2017. Also, my optional in the Civil Services Examination was mathematics, which is considered to be a very technical and scientific optional and is also a very scoring one. At the same time, my hobbies in life include writing Hindi stories, as I am a story writer and I have also got my stories published in the college magazines and newspapers as well. Also, I have an interest in the Indian mythology, particularly in the epics of the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and also reading biographies and autobiographies of famous personalities is a favorite hobby of mine because they inspire and motivate me to do well in life. Also, in this video, I would like to talk about the free live class series or the special classes that I will be offering on the Unacademy platform. And in these classes, what I will be doing is sharing my strategy for all the three components of this examination, namely prelims, mains, and interview preparation. For prelims, the strategies will revolve around the tips and tricks of calculating and scoring well in the prelims examination. Also, from the mains perspective, I will be taking a session on GS answer writing, which will prove to be very helpful for the aspirants who are going to appear in the mains examination. And at the same time, for interview purposes, I will be taking and telling you some tips and tricks to crack the interview with a very good score. At the same time, apart from these, I will also be taking classes on strategy of maths optional and some motivation boost classes as well related to stress and time management when we talk about the civil services examination preparation and how to stay motivated and maintain and up boost the level of emotional intelligence during this preparation. So I urge all of you to use the code DC30 for the same to register in the live classes and take maximum benefit of my experience in the civil services examination preparation. Also here, I would like to talk a bit about the Unacademy platform. As you can clearly see, Unacademy now hosts the best GS educators in the country, some of whom are Mrinal sir, Sudarshan sir, Prateek sir and Siddharth sir. The best thing about Unacademy is that it offers interactive live classes with these GS educators who then interact on a live basis with the students and get their doubts solved in a very effective and coherent manner. This will result in understanding in depth of the concepts that these educators are teaching to the students and hence that will result in better understanding and getting more marks in the examination. Since these classes are very interactive, so the aspirants can basically raise a hand and ask their doubt in these classes, which will be solved then and there itself by these top educators. And the third and the most important pro of Unacademy is that it can be accessed from any time and anywhere in the country by all the aspirants. So even if you are located in a remote location in India, you can basically log into the platform and the GS Educators classes will be available to you at any time of the day as well, be it night or day. So I request you all to avail these facilities of the Unacademy platform to maximize your chances of getting a rank in the civil services. So now let's delve deeper into the topic of the day, which basically is how to start civil services preparation for beginners. So if I have to give an overview of this topic, I have divided this into three basic parts. The first part covers the strategy related to the static portion. By static portion, what do I mean is that the static books, for example, history, NCRTs in history, or let's say Lakshmikant in polity. So these are some of the basic books that you have to read, which basically covers the static syllabus of UPSC Civil Services examination. My next point would be on how to cover the current affairs. So static portion, though it has a lot under it, but since the resources are fixed, so it can be read effectively. But current affairs is a very dynamic topic and it requires a wholesome understanding to reproduce well in the mains examination in particular. So in this topic, I would be covering the strategy related to coverage of current affairs in a very holistic and better manner. And finally, I would also be talking about optional preparation. Though my optional in this examination was mathematics, but I will not be restricting myself to preparation of the mathematics optional per se, but I would like to give you a general idea about how to prepare the optional in a way so that you can maintain a time balance between your static portion, current affairs, and optional preparation. So let us now start off by covering the strategy related to coverage of static portion. So if I talk about covering the static portion, what I would like to say is that the crux of clearing UPSC lies in the NCRT's books. Many aspirants do not read the NCRTs, and many aspirants have asked me also if there is a need to read the NCRTs. It is absolutely essential to read the NCRTs. You have to make it your first point because firstly, NCRTs will form the base on which your civil services preparation would then rely on. So basically, if you have read the NCRTs well, you will be able to understand the static and the current affairs that occur after the NCRTs. And secondly, lots of questions from the NCRT books are picked up directly in the prelims and mains examination. So you just cannot afford to neglect NCRTs at any cost. So start off by reading NCRTs of classes 11th and 12th. Many aspirants have also asked me here about if we need to read the NCRTs from classes 6th to 12th. So my personal suggestion would be that if you are comfortable with the NCRTs till class 10th, which I am assuming each and every one of you have read, then there is no need to go for 11th and for 6th to 10th. But if you think that you even need to build a stronger base, that you want to read these NCRTs, you can start off from class 6th. But the important NCRTs to be covered are of classes 11th and 12th only. After you have covered the NCRTs, then we can move on to the next point, which basically refers to graduating to the reference books. I have mentioned some reference books here for your understanding. These are Lakshmikant for polity, Spectrum for history. Similarly, there are other books like Nitin Singhania for art and culture, etc. So these are some of the reference books that you should study after you are done with NCERT, because you will only be able to understand them once you have thoroughly read the NCERTs of all the subjects that are covered in the civil services examination syllabus. Now let me tell you how exactly do you need to read the static portion and how effectively you can remember the data and facts that are presented in these books. So the next point is that you have to revise as many times as you can. Since the static portion is fixed and we tend to forget it very quickly because we are reading multiple things every day, so it is very important that you keep on revising these subjects, preferably on a weekly basis, so as to retain the maximum portion when you appear for a test or even if you are studying otherwise. So my personal suggestion would be to do a weekly revision. You can do a weekly revision of every subject. For example, if there are four Sundays and 4 Saturdays, so 8 weekends. So what you can do is you can pick up one subject on each day and revise it on a weekly basis. Similarly, one effective revision strategy that I could develop for covering the static portion really well was that I tried to sync these revisions later with prelims and mains sectional tests. So what used to happen was that once I had a test in mind that, let's say, on this weekend, I have to give a test of economy and history. So what I used to do was I used to study economy and history throughout the week, and then I would give that test and analyze what went wrong or what were the mistakes that I committed. I think this is a very effective way of revision, because not only will it give you an in-depth understanding of the subject while reading books, but it will also enhance your question solving abilities in terms of attempting those questions that you know perfectly, and also how do you get to the answers of the questions in the prelims examination where you have bare minimum knowledge. So I think this can prove to be a very effective way of revising the subjects, particularly in the prelims examination. And for mains as well, you can write the sectional tests. For example, if there is a sectional test of history, you can study history throughout the week and then you can attempt it. And based on that, you can assess yourself as to what are the strength areas and what are the shortcomings that you still need to improve upon. Let us now come to coverage of current affairs. So if I have to talk about coverage of current affairs, the first thing that every UPSC aspirant does is to start off by reading the Hindu newspaper. This is because the Hindu newspaper has a lot of opinion-based articles where basically you can get a lot of idea about what is happening in the country, and it is also in sync with the UPSC syllabus, where you can easily differentiate whether an article would come under a syllabus of GS1, GS2 or GS3. So I think Hindu newspaper is a very wholesome newspaper for a UPSC aspirant. But the one thing that troubles every aspirant is that how do we read the Hindu newspaper? Because as all of you who have just started the preparation, when I started the preparation, I also took around 2.5 hours to finish the Hindu newspaper on first day. And I could then realize that newspaper was actually eating up a lot of time. So then I decided that I have to cut down on this time and I need to know what are the important news articles that come every day. So basically I need to filter out the important stuff in the Hindu newspaper. For this, I would really like to thank Roman sir, because there is this video of Roman sir available on YouTube where he basically filters out what are the important stuff that is available in the Hindu newspaper, which is important from an exam point of view. So I watched that video. I basically demarcated all the important areas that sir had told in that video, and then I only read those pages and those articles that he had referred to in the video. As a consequence of this, within a month, I was able to reduce my reading time of Hindu from 2.5 hours to nearly 30 minutes. So first step to going for the current affairs should be to start reading the Hindu newspaper after seeing this video by Roman Saini sir. This will be very effective in coverage of the Hindu newspaper in your subsequent days as well. The next important thing was to go for the current affairs magazines. Now let me tell you the need for going for the current affairs magazines. When I used to read the Hindu newspaper, after a month, I thought I was facing two major issues. One, the first major issue was that in majority of the articles, you can see that there is a slight tilt towards one or the other side in the newspaper. This is true for every newspaper, not particularly the Hindu one. So I basically had to Google the other side of the opinion, because in the mains answer writing process, you have to provide an unbiased answer by providing both the pros and cons of each and every topic. So basically, I only had one side of the story and I had to Google the other side to understand the wholesome picture. So then I realized that it will be more effective for me if I can search for a source where both the sides or the pros and cons of a topic are already being made available to me. So that was my first major issue that I faced with the Hindu newspaper. Talking about the second major issue, it was that the Hindu newspaper basically covered news articles in a very irregular fashion, which is an issue because the current affairs happen haphazardly. If I have to give you an example, if there is a Naxalite attack which has happened recently, there will be a lot of articles based on its coverage. But then for a lot of months, there will be no attack per se. And after a few months per se, if there is another attack, then again the articles would come. So from an aspirant's point of view, how do you manage to compile those articles in one place and study them for your examination? It becomes very, very tough. So again, I needed a data source where everything related to a topic can be given under one headline and I will be able to revise it for my examination. This was when I realized the need to graduate to the current affairs magazines for unbiased and holistic views on various topics. But at the same time, the current affairs magazines are not more than 100 or 110 pages, and they will also give you a broad overview only of the monthly current affairs. So it was very important for me to supplement the monthly current affairs with daily current affairs. So I supplemented it with daily current affairs from online sources. So I think in this area, the Unacademy platform can give you a very good source because daily current affairs are covered in the Unacademy platform. You can watch these videos, which will basically be very helpful to you in coverage of these topics so as to understand the Hindu newspaper and the daily current affairs from other newspapers as well. So the coverage of daily current affairs, I think, is a massive boost to your preparation when we talk about the current affairs preparation. Now I would like to talk about the preparation of optional. So as I had already mentioned before, I had taken up maths optional as the optional of UPSC Civil Services examination. But in this video, I will not be talking of a math specific strategy, rather it would be a very general strategy. So as you already know, optional is one area where if you can focus well, you will be able to fetch good marks, because optional is one area or one subject of your interest where if you can work hard, then you can be fairly confident that you should get marks in this range. So I think optional should be the first one to be covered when you start off the preparation. You should try to finish it in the first few months along with the static portion. This I am saying because once you have finished your optional in the first few months, a big load gets off from your head, and then all you have to do is just revise the optional and give the test series later to strengthen it again and again. So basically, if you are done with your optional in the first few months of your preparation, for example, in my case, I finished off my maths coaching in the first 4 to 5 months. So broadly, I was able to cover the syllabus in this time. And then all I had to do was to attempt the books and the test series and revise the coaching material and books again and again. So I think starting off with the optional along with the static portion is a really good strategy, along with the current affairs, which should be graduated in a very slow manner from the Hindu to the monthly current affairs magazines to the daily current affairs. So I think this should prove to be a very effective strategy for you guys. And finally, I would like to talk about the importance of coaching in this examination. There are many aspirants who have come up to me and asked me this question, whether coaching is important for this exam or not, or whether it is absolutely essential to crack this exam. If I have to give a very honest answer, I would say it is not absolutely essential. There are multiple people who have cleared this examination without taking any coaching. But if you ask me personally, I would say that coaching is important. And this I am speaking from a very personal experience, because as you can see, I have jotted down some points here where I have mentioned the importance of coaching based on my personal experience. The first one is that it gave me consistency and motivation for the examination. So whenever I used to go to coaching, I could see that I had a fixed timetable, that I have to study a topic in this time. I have to revise it again when I come back home and study it from the various static or the current affairs sources that I have. And similarly, when I saw lots of aspirants around me who were preparing simultaneously for this examination, that gave me a motivation and a competitive feeling to do well by doing well in the tests and outscoring those aspirants around you. So I think that feeling of consistency, motivation, and a competitive feeling to aspirants is what coaching offers to. Similarly, you have to understand this thing, that coaching is not a wholesome way to crack this examination. You have to supplement it by self-study, which is paramount. Coaching is a way of giving you the direction of where you want to be and how do you want to achieve it. But the basic resources along with the study strategy is something that you only have to develop, and that can only be done by self-study and not by means of any coaching mechanism. And finally, I would like to say one more thing, that in these days, I don't think there is any difference between offline and online coaching. Both are very much equivalent. So I will urge you to basically put on your hats and try to use the Unacademy platform to as best as you can to your potential, so as to maximize the use of coaching in terms of effective revision by making crisp notes and at the same time understanding the topics in a better way. So with this, I would like to end this video. I would like to thank Unacademy for inviting me to share my experience on how to start the preparation for the beginners of civil services examination. And I really wish you all the best for your results and your preparation of the civil services examination. Thank you.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.